welcome to the Hope Show. And for today's guest, we have Darlene Boyd. She is a breast cancer survivor and has agreed to share her story with us today. Thank you for joining with us today. So tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I am a breast cancer survivor. That's something I'm very extremely proud of. I am a mother of 3. I am married. My children are 11, 4, and 5. I have to remember that. They're so close together, the last 2. And I'm also a student at Lindenwood, 2 classes away from graduating. And so I'm just trying to live every day to the fullest, enjoy my life, fulfill my dreams, and just be happy in doing so.
Okay. When did you find out you had breast cancer?
It was actually in 2012, July the 2nd. I had found a lump previously a couple of weeks ago, kind of high up on my left breastplate. I always do my breast exam, so I knew that there was something wrong. So I went, through the channels, and that was my diagnosis.
Well, how did this affect you and your family?
It was very shaky because breast cancer does not run in my family. Ovarian cancer did, so that's what I was checking for all these years, and come to find out that breast cancer was what I should have been looking for. It was devastating. I'm only 31, so it wasn't nothing that I was thinking would affect my life at such a young age, but it did, and we got through it.
How did this affect your family?
Well, my family, they took it in a lot of different ways. Of course, everyone believes the best. They want to believe the best, that is nothing, for so many different reasons. And deep down inside, I kind of knew, because it was just too different from what I've always, I'm always on top of my health, so I knew it was just something different. And so they took it in a variety of different ways. There was some anger, frustration, a lot of tears, just because no one actually knew what was going to happen, why this is happening. My oldest daughter, she was 10 at the time, so it really took a toll on her because she had a lot of questions. And it was different than anything we had endured before.
Who or what was helpful or supportive for you during that time of your life?
A lot of prayer, a whole lot of prayer. A lot of prayer was definitely at the top of that list. My family was great. My husband was awesome. He just stepped up to the plate in ways I never thought. It was just awesome. My mom, of course, she wasn't going to leave my side, my church family. And I had a lot of people, even people that I didn't even know that were, praying with me, sending things to my home and just being really supportive, cooking us food and gifts and books and just everything. So, and my best friend, can't leave her out. She was like my sister, was always there. So that helped a lot to have that support system around me.
Now, do you just have one sister or do you have a large family?
Actually, I have a brother. She's not my birth sister, but she could have easily been. That's how close we are. But yeah, she was great, awesome. I couldn't ask for anything more.
How long ago was this that it started happening?
This was a year ago, actually. I just celebrated my 1-year survivor anniversary.
Congratulations.
August 8th. Thank you so much. And so last year in the summer, right over 4th of July weekend, believe it or not. So it was a long weekend, very long weekend. So
how long before you learned about this did you start to tell your family and friends?
As soon as I found the lump,
I
called everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people, they like to wait and they're unsure if they want to tell who or what. So I guess it just depends on the person or so.
Yeah. I was panicky. I was just losing it. So I was like, somebody got to tell me, what's going on. Some Mormon, somebody have to tell me. So I called everybody and was like, look, this is what's going on. What should I do?
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Who was the first person you told?
The first person I called or told about the actual diagnosis, the first person I called was my mom. I think that's a natural definitely for everybody. But with the diagnosis, of course, my husband was there with me. My kids were there. So they were initially first, but then I went home and I called my mom. She again was top of that list. And I just started calling all my friends and family, letting everyone know. I didn't want any secrets because I didn't know how hard it was going to be, and I knew I needed everyone's support. So yeah, I just told everybody.
This has made you a stronger person, I'd say?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely, in ways I never even imagined. So yes, more grateful, appreciative, thankful for every day. So yeah.
How did this physically change you?
Physically, well, I had to have surgery. I was only affected in the left breast. And at the very beginning, it was just kind of like a pre-cancerous thing, but because of it being estrogen sensitive, and of course, me being a woman, it spread throughout the whole left breast, and one of my lymph nodes was infected. So I had to have one breast removed, but I opted to have a bilateral mastectomy, which is removal of both, because I didn't want to go through this again. I want to make sure that my risk was as low as humanly possible. So I went through that. I had a bilateral mastectomy. Then I chose to do reconstruction, reconstructive surgery of my breasts to have them basically rebuilt, because I had to do the tissue expanders, the stretching of the skin, all of those types of things that I had to have in order for that to happen. So
how many surgeries was that in total?
Total, there was 2.
2 surgeries.
I had 2 surgeries. One in August and the other was in November.
Okay, all right. Now we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will discuss what Darlene has done to help support others who are struggling with breast cancer.
Live with a human for a while, and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back to the Hope Show with our guest, Darlene Boyd. Now, you have a nonprofit organization that you started.
Yes, ma'am.
How is that going for you?
It is going great, slow but great. The name of my organization is called So Hope, and it was created out of a need, my own personal need, because for the ages of 18 to 35, there's not many support groups. There are not many, any kind, not a big enough of community, to really educate yourself and to teach you, and anybody you could really relate to. And even though my family and everyone was wonderful, some things they just couldn't understand. So I created this on Facebook actually as a need to reach out to people like myself. And I did just that, and I ended up meeting wonderful people, but then it just expanded to people that had all types of cancer, people that had all type of illness, and sometimes it wasn't the person that was affected. Like I have a lot of men who wives or different things, along sisters or brothers whose sisters, things like that. So we just began to communicate and talk, and I found out what some of their needs were, and some of them were the same as mine. And I had no idea what I was doing or what I was getting myself into at the time, but it turned into something put it that way, into something that's phenomenal. I'm very appreciative for it.
Now, what is the name of this organization?
It's called So Hope.
So Hope?
It is. It is. It's called So Hope. And so the S and the O stands for Sweet October's Hope. And it was interesting because that was a name that I had used for a walk that I did, and my birthday's in October, and half of my family, which is what makes it sweet. So I just used the acronym, and that's how I came up with So Hope.
Now, do you have just one location, or is it spread around Midwest, or how far is this organization gone?
Well, actually, it's a baby. Okay. So we're in the stages of doing all the groundwork, and we're doing all of these different things because it's more of a movement type, because your health is your responsibility, and a lot of things that needs to be known, we can fix a lot just by changing our habits, the way we live, the way we eat, even sometimes the way we think. So.
Oh, that's very nice.
Thank you.
Now, what are your future goals for this organization?
Okay. So
how far are you trying to go?
Well, my future goals, because I can dream up some stuff, is I'm going to have a building. And inside of my building, we are going to have a little bit of, it's going to be like a spa relaxation. it's going to be a little bit of everything for everybody. Like some things I already have in place. Like we're going to have a beautification team that makes personalized wigs. They're going to do makeup, eyelashes, everything to make women feel like women. We're going to have massage therapists, a dietitian, a nutritionist. We'll have a nurse on staff, a meditation room. We're going to have Zumba, kickboxing to release their stress, their frustration. Even we have Meals on Wheels, where we take meals to a person's house if they can't get out. There's just a lot that's going to be inside this one building, but it's going to be so much because I want to be of a service. So Hope is of a service. I had a lot of people that showed me a lot of love and care, and I want to do the same. And I understand how difficult it can be. Some people may not have a cheering section or fan club, as I like to call it. Well, I want to be their fan club. I want to hold their hand, whatever they need me to do. I want me and my staff to be at their beck and call, really.
That is amazing. It really is.
Thank you.
It's a powerful message.
Thank you so much.
Now, what types of, they'll be able to come and stay then? Or how does that work? Do they just come for the day and they're like,
yes, it would be like a day thing. Now, you gave me an idea with the stay. But no, from right now, as if that isn't big enough. But no, right now it would be they can come in for the day. But as far as the services, such as if they need a meal or grocery shopping, someone to take them to pay their bills, or if they just need someone to hold their hand during a chemo treatment, that's whenever, how it would call. I'm going to have that set up. There's just a 24/7 thing. Whatever their need, we're going to be there for them.
What other words of wisdom and hope do you have to give our viewers before we go?
Well, the way I always put it when I'm talking to anyone is I tell them that it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to know your body, to know your history, to take care of yourself and to love yourself. But most importantly, don't ever lose hope. Hope empowers and it encourages.
Well, that is all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for tuning in to The Hope Show.